So I feel the fundamental problem over here is that if you go into investments without knowing what you're doing, confirm you lose money, right?
So you see, also I think a lot of common people, I also get a lot of this question asked to me by friends and all that, because they look at me investing in properties and all that, and I also cannot get an answer for this. So this question goes like this, okay? So a lot of people say last time when you buy a property, right? Then after you keep for X amount of years, you can 5 times, 3 times, the property, from 55,000 can become 300,000 sometimes, depending on location. Good. But nowadays, right, all these new properties that come in, right, or the starting price is already 300,000. Is it possible to go 300%?
Okay, that's a good question. So, wow.
What do you think?
So, based on my experience, actually it's all about timing. Because the $300,000 property depending on your timing right now. So let's say, and I'm going to date stamp this conversation we have, which is in 2024. Right, so 2023, 2024, we just passed after COVID, and the price of properties have realigned. Now, many people are talking about oversupply. If they're talking about oversupply, you're 3 years delay in your data, because what happened is 2020 to 2023, most of the oversupply has been resolved, right? And many of these properties, these balance stocks have been taken up. Okay, number one. Number two is, during this time, a lot of people went into distress, and therefore they had not a lot of income. So what happened was a lot of the developers, instead of launching their properties at 500 or 600, they dropped it down to about 300. Yes, the size has gone a bit smaller, but it's at that size right now. So why am I saying all this is because it's all about timing, it's all about data, it's all about your opportunities. So if you're able to find a property from a developer in a good location that was supposed to be, let's say, 500, 600, but because of bad times, because of COVID, because of lack of income for people to buy, because of inflation, blah, 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 people scared to buy in. Because of interest rates and all, people scared to buy in. The developers may drop the price down to about 300,000. And so that means it's already about 20-30% below market price. If you extrapolate the income moving forward, you may be able to get it to double in price. Why not? Right? So from $300,000 to $600,000, yes. Right? Well, from 600 to 900,000, it may take a little bit longer depending on the areas, but you will still be able to do that. And my belief is this, it will. The only thing is it may take a bit more time for it to happen to that way. And most of the time it's like this. You see, my property was worth $55,000 at the time, it was worth market value 85. So it was a low cost property. So I always tell people is this, by the way, don't buy low cost. You don't need to, you just have to buy cheaper properties. So those properties for the B40s and M40s tend to go up in price higher than the T20s. Right, faster. So if it's the cheaper it is, the faster you appreciate.
Agree.
Okay. Now, what do you think?
Well, okay. So to me, I think that last time, in comparison, right? Last time, right? From you say the 55,000 property, right, have increased in 3 times the price, right? And you make 100,000 out of it. Let's say, right? But now, yes, our entry is different, right? We don't get to enter at 55 right now, right? We might enter maybe 300, 400. But we don't need to increase 3 times to make the same 100,000.
Okay.
All I need to do is just make what? If let's say it's going to be a 400,000 property, I just need to wait for it to increase 25%.
Okay.
And then I can also make the same 100,000.
Yeah, how?
Right? How? Okay, so first thing first, of course, first thing first is I won't buy any properties which is now at market price. Market price means whatever that is already justified by the bank. Like let's say if the bank is going to justify this property at 400,000, I'm not going to buy at 400,000. I'm going to buy at least 25% cheaper first, right? Buy at 300,000, okay? So that I know that I'm buying cheaper than the market. So number one. So I enter lower.
You actually look for fire sales or opportunities to actually buy a property cheaper than what most people go into.
Yes.
Okay, good.
So get low first, right? Get in low first, so that I know that no matter the worst come to worst, right, I won't lose money, right? I'm cheaper than others. I don't need to lose my money first. So number 2 is that I know that I don't need the property price to increase to 500,000, 600,000, as long as it can increase slightly a little bit more. I can still sell cheaper than the market and still make the same amount of money coming in.
Okay.
right?
So what you're looking for right now is actually you're leveraging off the banks,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And also get a property which is a much better deal.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
So when you buy at 300,000, people are selling at $400,000, and you're able to maybe get money out from the bank, so you get money out fast, cash out fast now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. That's a good idea as well.
Yeah, and I think the most important part is a lot of people miss out this part, which is tenants. A lot of people invest in the property, they like the property, but they need to know that the property is not for them. It's for their tenants, it's for their future buyer. So always look at your tenants and your future buyers prior to buy the property. Otherwise, you need to stay yourself. If you have one house, you can stay yourself. But if you have 10 houses, you can stay once a day.